Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student and Baxter Program webinar. Presenting for us this time is Andy Chu, one of our finalists from Capilano University. Now, before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone that if you have any questions at all during this presentation, feel free to type them into the Q&A box found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Hi, Andy. How are you today?
Doing well, Dan. Thank you for having me today.
Welcome. And since you're already sharing your screen, you can get started whenever you're ready.
Perfect, will do. Well, once again, hello everybody. My name's Andy. I'm from the Tourism Management program at Capilano University, and it's a pleasure to be here. I also want to thank you to Baxter Media, as well as the Jamaica Tourist Board for this rewarding learning opportunity. Without further ado, let's get started. So the purpose of this presentation of this introduction to Jamaica will be geared towards first-time agents that are learning to sell the product, as well as avid travelers who are trying to learn more about this amazing destination. So we'll begin this presentation webinar with Jamaica 101, a crash course about everything you need to know about this island nation. Then we'll get to know more about Jamaica's global tourism product, as well as its corresponding markets. Finally, and we'll tie everything together and learn how to package the information that we learned today and have resources on how to better sell and market the Jamaican destination. And before we jump into the topic of Jamaica, I'd like to introduce a bit more about myself to everybody here today. So my name is Andy, and I just completed my bachelor's in tourism management at Capilano University in North Vancouver, BC. My experience in tourism currently lies in hotel operations, as I've had 4 years of experience with Marriott International, but I am deeply interested in the field of conventions and incentive travel. I also had the privilege to travel to over 28 countries so far, and I'm always looking for the next big adventure. A couple of my bucket list countries include Costa Rica, Argentina, and Portugal. And below, I love to share 3 of my favorite travel photos, one from Valencia, Spain, one from Cinque Terre, Italy, and the third one from Seoul, Korea. And a fun fact about me, I'm an absolute aviation geek. I've grown up being amazed by the air travel and how it's helped our world grow. And I always get excited. I'm most of my element when I'm on a plane. And my top moment of being an aviation geek was being able to fly on the top deck of an Airbus A380. And let's get started with our Jamaica 101 crash course. So the island nation of Jamaica was declared independence from the British colony in 1962. As a result, its official language is English, but a large population of its Jamaicans speak Jamaican Creole, which is a local dialect. The currency is the Jamaican dollar, and as of 2018, there's a total of 2.7 million locals living on the island. The island itself is located in the heart of the Caribbean, south of Cuba, east of the Central American mainland, and then west of Haiti. The island spans across 235 kilometers, with its width ranging between 30 kilometers to 80 kilometers at its widest point. It is primarily mountainous, with over half of the island being over 1,000 feet above sea level, with the Blue Mountain Range on the east coast of the island and its highest peak at 7,400 feet. The mountain slopes into a coastal plains where majority of the settlements and resort areas lie on the island. Its capital city is Kingston, located on the southeast corner. As it's a tropical island nation, it has a tropical climate influenced by the trade winds and the sea in the Caribbean. It has 2 rainy seasons each year, one in May and June, and the second season from September to November. But please also note the region is prone to summertime thunderstorms, as well as risk of hurricanes during the summer months. And a little fun fact, in the south coast where Treasure Beach and Port Kaiser is located, that area is a unique part of Jamaica where it's sheltered by the Central Coast Mountains, where it's a much more drier and much more savanna-like terrain. And the island is divided into 6 main resort and tourism areas. I will highlight the 3 main ones highlighted in pink here, which are the 3 major Canadian destinations in Jamaica. First of which I'd like to highlight Montego Bay, which is located in the west coast of the island. It accounts for 35% of the Canadian travel market to Jamaica, with 139,000 travelers each year. It is Jamaica's 3rd largest city, and it's the gateway with the most Canadian entry points for direct flights. It has robust accommodation offerings and a bit of everything for everyone, and it's known for its beautiful beaches and exciting nightlife. The second destination I would like to highlight, a resort region, is called the Ochos Rios on the center coast of the island on the north side. It is only accessible by ground transport, cruise ships, as well as domestic airline connections from Kingston or Montego Bay. It is where a majority of the all-inclusive luxury resorts are located on the island, and is home to the world-famous Dunn's River Falls, as shown in the photo here. And our third point of interest is the Negril resort area on the west coast, which is the ultimate relaxation destination, and it accounts for 20% of Canadian travelers, for 81,000 each year. It has a much more slower pace than Ochos Rios and Montego Bay, and is a popular romantic getaway and wedding destination. And on the 3 other sides as well, I like to note that Kingston is the capital city, which is a gateway point for a lot of travelers to Jamaica. And we also have the lesser known and more laid back South Coast and Port Antonio as 2 other destinations that the Jamaica Tourist Board has identified as its key destination areas. And let's take a look at Jamaica tourism in the numbers. And based off of the Jamaica Tourist Board's 2018 annual report, visitor arrivals to Jamaica reached a record height of 4.3 million in 2018, a 1% growth from its 2017 results. The industry saw a growth of 3% in total tourist accommodation offerings of 32,000 guest rooms, of which 25,000 are from hotels. The gross visitor expenditure of foreign nationals totaled to $3.027 billion US. So this averages to around $162.12 US per person per night. And the average Canadian stays in Jamaica for 8.6 days, which is quite exciting because it's higher than the overall average of 6.2 days of overall Jamaican visitors. But what makes Jamaica so special to Canada? It's won a lot of awards and is popular with travel agents alike here in Canada. Based off of Baxter Media's Agent Choice Awards in 2019, Jamaica was voted agent's favorite tourist board in Canada. As well as from the 2020 World Travel Awards, the Montego Bay's Sangster International Airport was voted Caribbean's leading airport as well. So let's take a look at how we can get our guests from Canada to Jamaica. There are 6 airlines offering direct connections between Canada and Jamaica, of which it offers a lot of options for guests, whether they like to do direct or to connect through the United States, which opens up to plenty of options for our guests to travel to Jamaica. There's one traditional airline offering, which is by Caribbean Airlines, whose hub is based in Kingston's Manly International Airport, which has direct year-round access to Toronto. Leisure airline offerings include Air Canada Rouge and Air Transat. Low-cost airline options include WestJet and its brand new ultra low-cost carrier, Swoop, which flies directly from Hamilton to Montego Bay. And finally, we have Sunwing, the airline that offers the most routes year-round, offers both charter and scheduled air services between the most cities between Canada and Jamaica. So let's take a look at our connectivity for year-round options. So year-round, we have connections between Jamaica with Calgary, Edmonton, Hamilton, Toronto, and Montreal, which is all major points, which offers both the Eastern and Western Canadian hub for connections to Jamaica. And this is where the fun happens. During the winter peak travel season, we have up to 17 different cities that have direct access to Jamaica. with majority of the flights arriving in Montego Bay. So this makes Jamaica an absolutely accessible and viable travel option for any Canadian across the whole country, from BC coast here in Vancouver all the way to Atlantic Canada. So everybody will get to taste Jamaica as part of their potential travel options. So what's new in Jamaica? In 2019, the establishment of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crises Management Center was held in Kingston. In partnership with the University of the West Indies, the GRTCM Center is a first of its kind tourism resource dedicated to policy relevant research and analysis on destination preparedness, management, and recovery from disruptions and crises that can negatively impact tourism and threaten the economies of nations. This idea stemmed from the aftermath of the two last major hurricanes that hit the Caribbean and led torrential damage, which prompted world leaders to create a resource hub for new ideas and development to help nations further see the value of resilient tourism development and to promote sustainable destination development to ensure that there's longevity with each of the destinations are held in not only in Jamaica, but as well as in the Caribbean and beyond. And with this new hub for sustainable development here based in Kingston, it opens up Jamaica to a new market of eco-conscious, eco-aware travelers that are looking for sustainable tourism products. So we'll see that in the years to come as this new resource center builds its base in Kingston and Jamaica, we'll see a lot more sustainable tourism offerings with our existing operators, as well as new tourism product offerings popping up and testing and beta testing and providing a brand new experience for Jamaica travelers. So let's take a look at 4 key market segments that the Jamaican Tourist Board has identified as its core tourism demographics. First of which is what we call our young trailblazers. They are on average 36-year-old travelers who love immersing themselves in everything the destination has to offer, especially interacting with locals. They are hungry for adventure and local cuisine, and they prefer small to intimate, as well as select mid-sized accommodations, including homestays, villas, guest houses, and apartment rentals. Our second key demographic are our older independents. So they average at around the age of 53-year-old travelers who tend to immerse themselves in a destination. They are mainly interested in scenery, architecture, museums, and building connection to culture. They tend to stay in mid-sized accommodations and are much more conscious about safety. Our third target market is our guided suburbanites. So they are on average around 47 years of age, and they have values for historical learning. But they also do prefer to stay at all-inclusive resort stays where everything is prepared for them, but they are willing to explore the island with a guided tour guide. And our last and final group is our urban inclusives, which is on average as well similar to the suburbanites, which is our 42-year-old travelers from urban areas who travel mainly to Jamaica for relaxation and indulgence, and having all the bells and whistles and comforts of all-inclusive resorts and high-end hotel properties. For the basis of this market segment, and as well as showcasing some sample products, we'll focus on the 2 key markets, which is the young trailblazers and older independents that the Jamaica as a whole has focused in this year as part of its brand new heartbeat of brand. So there we are. So young trailblazers, they find their travel inspirations from social media, blogs, and various digital platforms. They really want to see Jamaica through the eyes of locals and being immersed in nature. So for this reason, sample activities, which I've created and compiled based around the destination Ocho Rios, which includes finding hidden waterfalls and pristine pools, little watering holes. Other activities include river tubing down the White River Valley, bobsledding down the Mystic Mountain of Jamaica. So our little cool runnings moment here. This descent carries guests through the heart of the rainforest canopy, giving them firsthand glimpses of the wonders of the tropical seaside rainforest, all in a traditional bobsled. And there's also nightlife, and will be included in this, including the traditional Jamaican dance hall parties. Let's take a look at our older independents. So for this group of travelers, they source their inspirations from TV, online travel guides, Facebook, magazines, radios, and OTAs, online travel agencies. They travel to Jamaica in hopes of finding their future home away from home. And the sample activities I have placed around here is around the west coast of the island, primarily around Montego Bay. So the first is a authentic Jamaican cuisine at the Zimbali Lounge, which is a mountain lodge close to the Negros village. The rafting down the Martha Brae River, which is on 30-foot bamboo rafts listed on the photo on your top left corner, sorry. And finally, I want to take our guests to the discovering the luminous lagoon at night. So as you can see at the bottom there, that's actually a night little lagoon right near Ochos Rios, which is home to millions of dinoflagellates. So at night, when disturbed in the water, they sparkle and glisten. And they produce an eerie glow that outlines the shape of the fish and other objects in the water. So it's very, very beautiful. And it's one of the only 4 places in the world for you to see a natural wonder like this. So this is definitely something for our older independents or any of our travelers to make as one of their pit stops in Jamaica. So for our final call to action here, so what can our travel agents do to become an expert in the Jamaica tourism product? First, Jamaica, the JTB has offered the Jamaica Travel Specialist Program, where there's a 2-course run, first of which is the general course, where you build general knowledge of the destination itself. And then you can further add course number 2, which is the Weddings and Honeymoons course. So what are the benefits of being a certified Jamaica travel specialist? So first, you get to be able to list your business on the visitjamaica.com public website for travelers. And then you will also be able to earn 3 CEU credits for the Travel Institute. And third, you will be able to earn commission through the method of reward points with Jamaica's One Love online shop, which through the tours and packages that you sell to Jamaica, you will be eligible for redemptions for your personal future stays or for redemptions for your clients. And third of which, finally, you also do get privileges such as arrival courtesies at Sangster International Airport for your clients, courtesy of the tourism board. And as well, further details and resources you'll find on jtbonline.org with the latest information and updates about the product offerings in Jamaica. And lastly, to ensure that your guests have peace of mind before departing, before making travel decisions to Jamaica, I would always recommend to double check the Canadian travel advice and advisories for any travel advisories to the Caribbean or to the Jamaican region. And that, folks, concludes my presentation for today. I want to thank you, everybody, for joining me on the sunny presentation of Jamaica. And I hopefully you fell in love with the destination as much as I did. And I'm open to the question and answer period. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Andy. And once again, to those attending remotely, feel free to submit any questions that you may have to the Q&A box or even the chat box, and I'll read them out to Andy.
Hi, Andy. This is Wendy from Baxter Media. Great presentation. I personally love Jamaica, and I can see you do too, but I'm not sure if you've been there. I had a question about commissions. Did you do any research on commissions? Do all these properties and activities, do they pay commissions to the travel agent?
So the commission through the One Love portal, so essentially what it is, you got to make sure as an agent that you diligently and input all of your receipts and confirm realized bookings into the platform in order to be eligible for reward points. And the only partners that are eligible for the One Love, they have to be certified by the JTB. So essentially any of the partner lodging, travel, and tour operators, as long as they're a registered company on there, you'll be able to earn your commission there.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And Nazmi says, thank you, Andy. Where did you get the market segmentation and traveler profiles from?
So really, really exciting. The Heartbeat of the World brand was recently launched in 2019, and through a comprehensive brand refresh, they established a couple of the key markets for Jamaica, and I aligned it with using the annual report of the tourism numbers to able to kind of get a glimpse of how our travelers from Canada will be like.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Nazmi says, also, what are credits used for with the Travel Institute?
With the Travel Institute, I believe the Travel Institute is an international organization for agents and travel professionals. And with the credits, you'll be able to earn for certificates and, I believe, designations for international accreditation as well. But I'm not 100% sure. That's briefly based off of what I saw on the JTB agent site. That's what they say with the credits that they'll be able to use for.
Wonderful, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Nazmi's final question was, are there any indications on pricing?
May I have a little bit of clarity? Is it pricing in terms of products or is it for commissions?
I think she had submitted that before the, on product pricing.
Oh, for product pricing, let's see here. I didn't do too much in research on the product pricing itself, but unfortunately, I won't be able to have the correct answer for that. But for new agents, if they were to use the resources through the Jamaican tourist boards, these are accredited and verified industry partners that the Jamaica Tourist Board has selected and reviewed and audited to make sure that they're suitable for international travelers to consume as well as to book. So for the pricing there, it is, and then at the same time, usually when it's a tourist board certified, there will be a slight premium in, let's say, when you book independently or with a not through the channel, but it ensures that they have the quality insurance for the guests.
Right, okay, thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
And Nazmi says, thank you, Andy. Love the presentation and the upbeat feel of it.
Thank you, Nazmi, appreciate it.
And Andy, have you been to Jamaica yourself?
No, I haven't. So I was on a cruise one time to the Caribbean. I was supposed to make a dock in Jamaica. However, due to high winds, I wasn't able to make it in. So I was almost there. I could see it in the distance. We were docked, but we couldn't make it to shore. But
oh, wow.
Through this whole experience and learning about the development and the new routes that they're doing so much investment in the Canadian travelers, I could definitely see myself traveling to Jamaica in the near future. I'm a venture junkie myself, so I love being in the rainforest and by the ocean. So it's definitely something on my list.
Oh, absolutely. Totally understandable. Okay, I do believe that's it for the submitted questions, but I would like to thank everyone that tuned into this webinar. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. And Andy, thank you so much for your great presentation.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate the time today.
On behalf of Baxter Media, I'd like to thank you for participating in the 2020 Baxter Student Ambassador Program. We'll be in touch.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Andy. Take care, everyone.